Welcome to Greedy Bitch, a podcast where we teach you to go from being burnt out, broke, and broken to healthy, wealthy, and happy. Building a grooming business on your terms. Here's your host, River Lee.
Classic ones and zeros, baby. I'm obsessed with you. Give it to me, baby. Every Monday, every Monday. Everything I need.
Hello, and welcome back to Greedy Bitch, the podcast for groomers that are done apologizing for wanting more. I'm your host, River Lee, the founder of The Savvy Groomer. And if you're listening to this right now, friend, take a deep breath because you've made it. You've survived the holiday rush, the double book doodles, the just a quick nail trim walk-ins, and the clients who swear they called you weeks ago, even though we both know it was just yesterday. You've been running on caffeine, chaos, and maybe a little bit of muscle memory. And now, it's over. And this is the part no one really talks about, the holiday emotional hangover. The strange cocktail of exhaustion, relief, pride, and maybe even a little of resentment. You're proud of how hard you worked, but you're also wondering, why do I feel so fried? You've made it through the rush, but now you're starting at your table thinking, I don't even know if I want to look at a pair of shears right now. I get it. This is the time of year where groomers start fantasizing about quitting everything and moving to a cabin in the woods with 0 dogs and perfect Wi-Fi. Well, maybe my dogs, but no dogs I have to groom, right? But here's the thing. This quiet moment, this post-holiday pause, it's gold. Because what you do right now in this space between burnout and renewal is what sets the tone for the entire year ahead. So today we're looking about how to reset your energy, your systems, and your mindset. How to take everything you just went through and turn it into data and not drama. Because the goal isn't just to recover, it's to realign. So this January feels peaceful, intentional, and, well, of course, profitable. Let's be honest, the holidays don't just drain your energy, they distort the sense of normal. You've been operating in survival mode for weeks. Every spare minute has been accounted for. You've said yes to appointments you didn't want. You've eaten more granola bars in the back room than actual meals. You've run out of patience, product, and probably paper towels. And now that the rush is over, you don't know whether to cry, nap, or deep clean the salon. When you're in that state, our brains don't stop working. They're just replaying. We replay the clients who made us feel small. We replay the conversation we wish we had handled better. We replay all the, I'll deal with it after the holiday stuff that's now waiting for us. That's the emotional hangover. That's your system telling you to process everything you didn't have time for to feel in the moment. So before you dive back into the grind, pause, ask yourself, what does this season really leave behind? Maybe it left behind clutter, literal or emotional. Maybe it left behind resentment towards clients, staff, or even yourself. Or maybe, surprisingly, it left behind proof that you can handle more than you thought possible. Whatever it is, see it, because awareness is the first step to peace. You can't reset what you refuse to recognize. You've heard me say this before. Burnout isn't failure, it's feedback. It's your body, mind, and spirit saying something's out of alignment. Every time you felt that flash of irritation or that tightness in your chest this season, that was data. When you felt underpaid, underappreciated, or just plain done, that was data too. It's all emotional information. And when you look at it through that lens, it stops being something you feel guilty about and becomes something you can learn from. So let's talk about some examples. That one client who always calls last minute and expects a miracle, that's data about your boundaries. That one employee who says they'll just be 5 minutes late, but you never call out, that's data about your leadership. That moment you snapped at your favorite dog because you were exhausted and hungry, that's data about your self-care system or lack of one. And here's the kicker. Sometimes the data is about us. It's not always about them. Sometimes we're the one dropping the ball, overpromising, or taking things too personally. I'm going to share a story really quick with you guys because it changed the way I see everything. I once had to fire my own groomer. They weren't bad, their haircuts were fine, but the communication, not so much. They groomed my poodle beautifully, but every pickup time changed. Every what's included conversation turned awkward, and when it finally asked for clarity, I got attitude. I remember thinking, oh, this must be what my clients feel like when I'm too tired to explain myself clearly. That was my data. It wasn't about blame, it was about awareness because self-awareness is what turns a good groomer into a good leader. So, where's your journal prompt for the week? What did the season teach me about me? Maybe it taught you you're stronger than you thought. Maybe it showed you that you need to delegate more. Or maybe it just revealed where you're stretched too thin. You don't need to fix it all right now. You need to just notice it because that's the beginning of every meaningful change. All right, now that you've gathered your emotional data, let's do something about it. Let's talk about the December debrief. Think about it as your end of year checkup for your business and your brain. So grab a notebook, open a Google Doc, or just voice record your thought while you clean up your table. You're going to go through 5 quick categories. Number one, money. What actually made a profit? What quietly drained it? Did your add-on services carry you? Or did you undercharge for those holiday extras? Look at where the money flowed easily and where it felt like pulling teeth. Two, mindset. When did you create calm, confident, and in control? And when did you start people pleasing? Did you say yes because you wanted to or because you were afraid to say no? Three, boundaries. Where did you hold firm? Where did you give a soft yes and then later regretted it? This is not about guilt. Again, it's about gathering truth and data. Four, clients. Who energized you? Who drained you? If you fell in a pit of your stomach when someone texted you, that's not a coincidence. Go back through the highlighted client list and see how many yellows and how many pink or blues, right, that you have throughout your client list. Five, body. When did you nourish yourself? When did you skip yourself? Did you hydrate, eat, stretch, or did you run on fumes and Red Bull? You don't need a spreadsheet, you just need honesty, right? When thought, when balance of three, say, I am proud, I wins. Because yes, this season has had its chaos and it has had its victories. You showed up, you made it through, you built something real. And once you see your patterns on paper, you'll start to see where the fine tuning needs to begin. That's how you stop repeating the same problems every year by actually learning from them instead of surviving them. Okay, so now that you've done your emotional inventory and your operational check-in, now it's time to clean house, figuratively and literally. Let's talk about that client list. Who's truly your soulmate client? The ones who pay on time, respect your schedule, trust your process. Who's been quietly draining you? If you've got someone who's been disrespectful, chronically late, and constantly forgetting your policies, I promise you, you do not need to drag that energy into the new year. Let them go. Kindly, professionally, even gracefully. You can say something like, we love Fluffy, but we don't feel like we can meet your needs anymore. Here are a list of groomers who might be a better fit. Not rude, that's leadership. Because when you release what's misaligned, you leave room for what is. Next, go ahead and look into your systems. Anything that made December harder than it needs to be, let's start fixing that. Update your reminder text, your pricing sheets, your what's included policies. Create templates for common messages so you don't have to rewrite the same things 100 times. And if you're realizing their SOP live in your brain and nowhere else, it's your sign to start getting them documentized. Your future self will thank you. And of course, finally, reward yourself. I mean it. Not the I'll rest when I've caught up kind of reward, the I've earned this kind of rest. Book a massage, schedule a nothing day, turn your phone on Do Not Disturb, and watch trash TV with your dog. Because rest isn't lazy. Again, it's leadership. Your brain needs white space to rest. Your creativity needs silence to breathe. And your body needs care to keep doing this work long term. Peace doesn't just appear, it's something you build through boundaries, clarity, and compassion for yourself and everyone that you're going to be serving. So, as we head into January, remember, you don't need to overhaul everything. You don't need to reinvent your business or make a massive new plan. You just need to make one small intentional improvement in each area you struggled with this season. That's how you build a business that feels lighter, cleaner, calmer, without burning it down to start all over again. And because I know how busy you are, I made something really simple to help: a 5-minute year end cleanup for groomers. It's a free checklist that helps you declutter your mental load, tighten your systems, and walk into January already a step ahead. You've survived the season, and more importantly, you've grown through it. Now give yourself permission to rest, reflect, and reset, because peace isn't something you find, it's something you create. And honestly, that's the most greedy bitch thing that you can do. All right, my friend, take a deep breath. Let's look forward to the new year. If you know a groomer who could use this podcast, please feel free to share it with them. Until next time, stay savvy, stay greedy, and never apologize for wanting more.
Thanks for listening. Find us on social media at The Savvy Groomer and online at savvygroomer.com. Subscribe to be notified for our new episodes. Until next time, happy grooming.